everybody. This seems like deja vu. Today, we're going to talk about Janet Jackson's alleged daughter coming forward saying that Janet Jackson, beyond a reasonable doubt, is her mother and James DeBarge is her father. Now, this feels like a recycled story. It just will not go away. Everybody in James' family has said that we saw Janet Jackson pregnant. It's really, really strange. But before we get into that, let's just go over James DeBarge and his history with his family. To say that the DeBarges have lived a turbulent life would be an understatement. Now, a brief update background, just in case you live under a rock and you didn't know that the DeBarges have been through to hell and back. I mean, their life is turbulent, and it all stemmed from childhood, which we all know that their father, Robert DeBarge Sr., touched the oldest five siblings. This led to their downfall. It's like they just couldn't get over what happened in the past. That led to drug problems, and then that became the family curse. But let's start with just the names of all the siblings.
All the names of the DeBarge family.
Oh, my goodness.
From the head? From the head down. Come on.
Well, I'm the oldest.
All right,
the oldest,
yes.
And then we have a deceased brother, Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah, and then we have Tommy, who's the bass player and
Yes.
the group switch. And then we have Randy and Marty. And then that's the first five. Then the second five, Elle is the oldest of the second five.
All
It's
right.
Elle, and then James, and then Jonathan.
Yeah. Uh-oh, she let some secrets out there.
Jonathan, Chico, and
Yes.
then Carol and Daryl.
All right.
So all 10 of us, God has blessed with a great gift.
The DeBarges are a big family. The musical group's biggest success was the 1985 hit Rhythm of the Night, but the personal lives of the DeBarges have been defined by discord. Between their struggles with addiction, crime, and drama, the DeBarges have lived tragic lives. DeBarge matriarch Ederline met her future husband Robert DeBarge Sr. when she was just 17. Robert was 4 years older, in the army, and white, making him socially forbidden fruit. Unfortunately, he was also insanely jealous. He ordered her not to wear jewelry, makeup, or anything else that might attract another man. After a hasty wedding, things rapidly went downhill. Ederline said Robert tormented her physically and emotionally, even keeping her continuously pregnant. Ederline's children had horrific memories of their father. Chico claimed that his father sexually molested his siblings. Bobby allegedly took the bulk of the abuse, but all the children suffered. Bunny, for one, went so far as to blame the siblings' professional woes and personal struggles on the ugliness they endured as children. It's easy to spot similarities between the DeBarges and the Jacksons, which would make Elle the Michael of the DeBarges. As the Michael of the group, he received special treatment from Motown founder Berry Gordy, who saw Elle as a budding solo artist.
And if you know anything about the DeBarge, you know that this is no exaggeration. Elle was the Michael Jackson, maybe even better than Michael Jackson. And I say better than Michael Jackson because we all know that song. I like it. And at that end, that riff, and I like, it goes up and up and up. I don't think Michael Jackson can sing like that. Plus, he had looks. The entire family was gorgeous. One isn't better than the other. Just a gorgeous family. Well, maybe Elle was the leader in the looks too. Elle DeBarge was a dream. He could sing. He was nice looking. He could dance, not like Michael Jackson dancing, but he can sing. And he was just destined to be a star, but for the family curse, which is drugs and the touching of them when they were little. And, I know nothing about being touched, but I do know that sometimes it's something that a family just can't get over. Just can't get over it. So we've seen them crying on Dr. Drew, and they're just telling their story. They've been in and out of prison. It's just sad. And I thought it couldn't get any worse, but it's gotten a lot worse. I mean, it breaks my heart to have to report this to you guys because I'm a huge DeBarge family, with my favorite being Elle. He's just cute as pie. I mean, he was. Okay, so now they're doing a new documentary about the DeBarges called the debarge. It's called debarge, just debarge. And it was released at a film festival this year in 2025. It's really heartbreaking to watch, almost exploitation. I mean, I'm not exaggerating here. The family, well, James and Randy are, well, homeless. I don't know what you call it, but they live in an RV. Now, here's a picture of their living conditions. Trash all over the place. This is not supposed to be, this is not supposed to be. With all of them having voices of angels and they live like this, they just can't get off the drugs. Here's a picture of James, the one that used to be married to Janet. He's unrecognizable. This clearly, so in LA, there's a place down by Figueroa that they call Tent City, and it's expanded. You know, I used to live in Los Angeles a couple years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and it was bad then, and it's gotten worse. I went to a family reunion about a year ago, and it's gotten worse. People just set up tents and they live in anywhere that they can, and you would never, ever, ever suspect that the debarge family lives there. I feel like since their mother passed away, I mean, it was bad when she was here, but maybe that was their last hope. And so they made this documentary, and the family started fighting over the documentary, allegedly because they didn't like their image, the way that they were portrayed. What I think is, you know, when you take a look at yourself, you don't know how bad you are or how you look through other people's eyes until you see yourself on film. And so, according to the rumors, Elle was in it, Bonnie was in it. You know, they were in this documentary, and then all of a sudden they started complaining. And then they got to the point where they were saying that they wouldn't release the rights to the music, and it was just a mess. And I'm glad that they didn't release this to a major audience, because it's just sad. It's very, very sad. I mean, drugs have taken their looks, taken their lives, taken some of their teeth. We know that Tommy never got right. So they're saying that Bobby was touched by his father, Bobby and Bonnie, and all of them. But then, almost like a Krishan Rock situation where she says her sister touched her, they said that Bobby touched James and Tommy, I guess, repeating what happened to him. And I don't understand that cycle, but I know it's a very damaging thing. And so yeah, the DeBarge family has been down on their luck. But does that mean that they're liars? Does that mean they're making up the Janet Jackson had a secret baby and James was the father? Are they making that up? Because Christinia, James's daughter, the one that was on the show Growing Up Hip Hop, she claims that, yeah, she definitely has a sister that was born by Janet Jackson.
Do you have a secret sister?
I believe I do have a sister out there. I'm sure he feels betrayed. I'm sure he feels sad. I'm sure he feels disappointed. I'm sure he feels like he was robbed of that relationship with his daughter. But at the same time, I know my dad loves Janet till this day, and he doesn't want to hurt her.
Now, according to the DeBarge family, this daughter, her name is Tiffany White, and she took a DNA test.
Yes, I still think that it's possible.
Tiffany White has grown up believing she is the pop star's daughter. Why? Because her father is apparently singer James DeBarge, whose marriage to Janet came to an end in 1985. In 2017, Inside Edition interviewed DeBarge's mother, Ederline. They had a DNA test conducted, and I revealed the results.
I told her, I said, the proof is in the pudding. Let's go get a DNA.
So this is the DNA test, and it says the probability of relatedness is 96.7%. You didn't believe there'd be a match?
No way.
Did you ask Janet Jackson to take a DNA test?
She refused.
We also spoke with DeBarge's sister, Bunny, who says she recalls Janet being pregnant.
I think we all believe that James and Janet had a child.
How could I keep a child from their father? I could never do that. That's not right.
And it really feels like the more Janet says this isn't true, the more people don't believe her.
I'm not calling Janet a liar. She just might not have realized that she wasn't really denying it and never says the word no. And you could say, oh, she didn't really want to talk about it. No, Janet is the executive producer of this documentary. Like, that topic is in there because Janet wanted it in there. So if you're going to address this rumor, that would make sure you unequivocally deny it. And I don't think Janet did that with her answer.
And of course, you have people that would say, Janet was married to Renee Elizondo a whole decade plus and never said a word until the divorce. I mean, which is true. I guess they're saying if Janet doesn't want to talk about it and tell anybody about it, she's not going to do it. And now we have a new round of rumors. 3 days ago, of course, James DeBarge came out again and spoke about it yet again. Now, here's my thing. James very well could be strung out. We see how his lifestyle is now. He's still an addict. He could just be talking out the side of his head. But is he really? So now I'm right back where everybody else is. I mean, did the girl really take a DNA test? She showed something. I'm going to say I don't know. But it's their business. And I hate to say this, because of the way that James' life has turned out, what would have happened if the baby was here anyway? Christinia says that he goes for long periods without seeing his daughter. He's just in the grips of his addiction as he was when he was married to Janet. He never stopped being an addict, which is the overall, sad life. So is James DeBarge some, I don't know, strung out guy that's just talking out the side of his head? Just because you suffer from addiction, that doesn't make you a liar, does it? I don't know. Y'all not going to get me to make a decision. I'm just reporting the news, what's going on, and how he has started up a whole new cycle of the same old news. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And before I go, I wanted to say this. I wish the DeBarge family nothing but the best. To see them living like that is painful. To see how El DeBarge, he was already famous, but he could have been great. And, I don't know. I just pray for the DeBarges, and, it's sad to see them like that. They are all so talented, and it's just sad. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the first part of the video. The father, after leaving the mother, went on to have 5 more children. The rumor is that he had 5 more children with another white lady. They changed their last names, and they don't want anything to do with the DeBarges or the public. I mean, that Robert Sr. was a piece of work, now wasn't he? There's a lot to talk about down in the comments section. I mean, what do you guys feel about, the whole family still being in the grips of addiction? Is Janet Jackson lying? And if she was lying, do you think the baby would be better off? Oh, I hate to say it. Considering how, all of the DeBarges, they are still, after all these years, and, some of them like Bobby and Tommy were addicts up until the day that they passed away. So sad. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, bye for now.
What's your brother and I'll come out and jam with you. Are you playing the bass and I Like It?
Yeah.
And that song, I know you wrote the lyrics. What inspired that?
I just started thinking I like it. I was actually thinking about, I was kind of hungry. I was thinking about burger. Ooh, and I like it. You're the most fun every time I take one look at you.
I knew it when I heard it, man. Me and El knew it when we heard it, when you were playing it, we knew it was a hit, right off the top. That's why we ran upstairs. When we stopped everything we were doing, we ran upstairs to jam with you. First words came out of his mouth to you was, Randy, that's a hit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, man.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Love you, bro. Come back and we'll jam, all right?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah.